Have you ever asked yourself, who even am I outside of what everyone else needs me to be? Maybe you've spent your life being adaptable, agreeable, high achieving, but now that you've been diagnosed with ADHD, it's like your entire sense of self is unraveling. You are not alone in this, and you're definitely not the only one asking this question. My name is Sara Kelly. I'm an ADHD coach for late diagnosed, high achieving women. And today we're talking about something that doesn't get nearly enough airtime, but touches almost every woman I work with. And that's identity loss after an ADHD diagnosis. In this video, we're going to explore why ADHD often leads to a lifetime of masking and people pleasing, how that can leave you disconnected from your own needs, wants, and sense of self, what identity loss looks like in real life, not just in theory, and how to start gently rebuilding a version of yourself that feels real, grounded, and yours. Let me tell you about a client of mine. We'll call her Alicia. Alicia had a career, the credentials, the family, the put together persona. But a few months into coaching, she said something I've never forgotten. I'm starting to realize I don't actually know what I like. I've spent so long performing who I thought I had to be, I don't know what's real anymore. And understandably, that's where the tears came in. Because that realization, while freeing, also carries a kind of grief. And this is something that I see all the time in the women that I work with. They've spent decades shape-shifting, being the reliable one, the high achiever, the friend who's always available, the employee who goes the extra mile, the partner who keeps everything afloat, all while quietly struggling behind the scenes. Because masking doesn't just mean hiding hyperactivity or blurting things out. It means smiling when you're overwhelmed, saying yes when you want to scream no, meeting other people's needs before you even ask yourself what yours are. And when you do that for 20, 30, or 40 years, it's easy to lose track where the mask ends and you begin. So let's talk about what's actually going on here. ADHD affects executive function, which includes emotional regulation, decision-making, and something called self-awareness. And the last one doesn't get talked about much, but it's huge. It means that your brain might struggle to hold on to a stable internal sense of identity, especially when external demands are loud, urgent, or emotionally charged. So you adapt, you mirror, you fill the role that keeps you safe, accepted, or functional. And then one day you get diagnosed and the scaffolding starts to fall away. You might realize, wait, that wasn't a personality quirk, that was ADHD. And suddenly your entire history feels like it needs to be re-examined. But here's the kicker. Identity loss doesn't always feel dramatic. Sometimes it just feels like numbness. You might go to pick a show and scroll for 45 minutes because nothing feels like you. You try to make a decision and get stuck in a loop of, should I even want this? Or you finally get time to yourself and you realize you don't know what to do with it. Because when your life has been built around adapting, stillness feels foreign, and choice feels overwhelming, and joy might even feel like a luxury you forgot how to access. Before we go any further, if this is landing hard and you want a space to untangle it with someone who actually gets it, I offer free consultation calls. The link to book a call with me is in the description of this video if you'd like to explore what support could actually look like for your specific experience. Now let's walk through what actually helps. Not to rush the process, but to ground you in it. Number one, start noticing identity doesn't come back in a lightning bolt. It comes back in fragments. The way you respond when no one's watching, what your body does when you stop trying to be good, what feels heavy versus what feels light, even for a second. Don't pressure yourself to define anything yet. Just notice. That's the first step home. Number two, uncouple self-worth from roles. If your identity is tied to being helpful, productive, or dependable, you could feel uneasy the moment you rest or say no. So try asking, who am I when I'm not performing? What parts of me exist even when I drop the ball? What do I actually value, not just what I've been rewarded for? These are really big questions and you don't need answers overnight, but asking them is powerful and brave. Number three, use micro choices to rebuild agency. Instead of trying to overhaul your life, start with, what do I feel like wearing today? Do I want music or silence right now? What's one thing I'm curious about, even if it doesn't make sense? These tiny acts of choosing reinforces the message, I matter, my preferences matter. Number four, create mask-free zones. Maybe it's one friendship, one room in your house, one journal entry where you don't edit yourself, somewhere you could exhale, somewhere where your nervous system starts to believe it's okay to be real here, because that's where the truest version of you starts to reemerge. Number 5, expect identity grief. Letting go of old identities, even the ones that weren't authentic, still hurts. You might miss being the capable one. You might grieve how much time you spent being someone else. And that grief is valid, so let it move through you. There's nothing wrong with you for feeling both relief and loss. Number 6, play. Yep, I said it, play. ADHD brains often rediscover identity not through deep analysis, but through experimentation. So try things, follow the spark, let yourself be messy, spontaneous, even wrong. Because you're not rebuilding your identity for anyone else. You're rediscovering what it feels like to live as yourself. And if you want help figuring out what this looks like for your brain, I'd love to talk. There's a link in the description to book a free consult with me. No pressure, just a real conversation. In closing, let me hammer this home. You are not lost. You're emerging. You're peeling back years of shoulds and musts and good girl scripts. And underneath all that, there's a version of you who's been quietly waiting to be chosen, to be heard, to be lived into. And that version of you is still here, still whole, and still worthy. And she's not too much, she's just right. Thank you for being here. If this video spoke to you, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.